Why Egypt is building a new capital city. Awarded as one of the most amazing World Heritage Sites, located near the historic Nile River with a massive 21.3 million population, this is the astounding city of Cairo and the capital of Egypt, where most of the famous Hollywood movies are shot. And if we head 45 kilometers towards the east side of this astounding city, you will witness the all-new capital of Egypt, which is currently being constructed by the name of the new administrative capital. If we look at the recent aerial footage, the construction of the city does seem to be moving on a full scale. But the astonishing part is, despite being awarded as one of the most beautiful cities in the world, with 13 million tourists visiting Cairo every year, why the Egyptian government is trying to build an all-new capital? Well, we have some compelling reasons to prove the legitimacy of why the Egyptian government has decided to spend $40 billion to build this city. Number 1. Overcrowded. Cairo's current population is around 22 million, which, surprisingly, is going to double by 2050. With the current state of business, the overcrowded road makes it almost impossible to conduct sufficient or emergency meetings between ministries and various government departments, and also making it extremely difficult to drive from one place to another within the city. The overcrowded conflict, in return, forced the government to construct all new embassies, government departments, parliament, presidential palace, and sufficient space for 6.5 million people to live a luxurious life, contribute towards building a much greener Egypt. The new capital will also have a central green river where greenery is planted twice the size of New York's Central Park. But if you look closer, why did the Egyptian government decide to build government departments 45 kilometers away from the main city? And why change the name and shift the entire identity of the capital to a new place? To answer this question, let's move towards the evil plan of the current president and former military leader of Egypt, Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. Number 2. Financial benefit. With 51% of the entire project being funded by a company, Administrative Capital for Urban Development, which is owned by the Egyptian military, the project now seems under strict directions of the president. As the Egyptian military is watching over the entire project, it has also been given the opportunity to not only sell the houses of the new city, but also the locations that were emptied by the government officers in Cairo to shift here, thus giving them a massive opportunity to financially benefit from the project. Number 3. Influencing the powerful. If we look at the cost of a 2-bedroom flat, then it goes around a massive $50,000, whereas GDP per capita in Egypt is $4,171. This makes it a perfect place for the rich to differentiate themselves from the poor by also distancing themselves from them in a farther location. Although the Egyptian government did claim that they are going to create affordable houses for the poor, no plan has been laid down for it so far. Number 4. Benefiting the rich. To ensure that the rich start thinking of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi as their favorite one, the government has handed over a smart city project called Noor City to Egypt's biggest construction company, Talat Mustafa Group. The government not only provides such companies incentives, but also helps them achieve billions of tax revenue. Number 5. Protecting against revolt. In 2011, the protesters took control of the iconic Tahrir Square of Cairo and declared it as the Republic of Tahrir. Soon, they burned down the headquarters of the corrupted Hosni Mubarak government to make him resign immediately. Luckily, they managed to achieve their objective, but what they did not know of was that the current president, el-Sisi, was keeping a close eye on these events and was convinced that people's dominance over Tahrir Square must be broken. Otherwise, no government will ever be able to rule for a long time. Surprisingly, President el-Sisi did the same and took complete control over Tahrir Square by deploying anti-protester private security guards as soon as he came to power. To weaken the strength of the common man, the president intentionally created the new capital to gain support from the rich that plays a massive role in funding the government, and also made it extremely difficult for the protesters to revolt by walking 45 kilometers away from their city. Not to forget that the new capital is also well secured with surveillance cameras at every angle to ensure no one enters without proving their legitimacy. Criticism. Many experts are already criticizing the government by claiming that the new capital will create a massive difference between the rich and the poor. It is also claimed that instead of investing $40 billion in the project, the government could have spent all the money in upgrading the environment of the poor, as well as the existing city, to ensure no problem is faced by the government departments from conducting their regular business. So, this is how the Egyptian military is trying to build a new city that could change the way we think of Egypt until now. It is true that this unknown city is soon going to contribute heavily towards Egypt's sustainable vision of 2030. But the way the military government is handling the project, it seems a new form of civil war is not far away from happening. So what do you think about Egypt's new capital? Do you think the city will increase the level of difference between the rich and the poor? Tell us in the comment section below. If you like this video, don't forget to press the like button and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for watching.